On Osrc News at 7, Governor Aiyedatiwa receives commendation for impactful governance at APC Constitution Review in Akure. NDLEA launches alternative development pilot project to check drug abuse. Traders block River Niger Bridge to protest Onitsha market closure. And from the foreign scene, South Korea court sentences ex-first lady to jail term for bribery. Good evening and welcome to the news on Osrc Television. I am Obi Chukwemeka Oti. Beginning from the home front, stakeholders at the Southwest APC Constitution Review Summit in Akure, the Ondo State capital, have attributed the success of the public hearing to the leading role of the state and its giant nature in issues of national development. Some of the attendees, including the Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu, represented by his deputy Babafemi Hamzat, commended Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa for his numerous impacts in making the state better while promoting party unity and ideology. Government House correspondent Wahab Bankole has details.
The APC Constitution Amendment Committee concluded its assignment of visiting all the 6 geopolitical zones of the country in Akure, the Ondo State capital, as stakeholders and party members gathered for the Southwest public hearing. The event, designed to make the party stronger while promoting internal democracy, was attended by delegates from Lagos, Osun, Oyo, Ekiti, Ogun, and host Ondo State. Some of the attendees, including the Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu, represented by his deputy Babafemi Hamzat, and Vice Chairman of the party in the region, Isaac Kekemeke, while applauding the success of the summit, attributed it to the commitment of Ondo State to always promote party unity and ideology towards the betterment of the nation and residents.
This is a state of giants. We have Papa Michael Ajasin, Arakunrin, Kredolu, and many others like that. So it's a home of progressive minds. Every party, especially a party that is bringing in a lot of members, we need to look at the fundamental reasons why we are together. So what are the roots of engagement? How do we do things together? So that's basically why we're here. Like they said, they've gone around the various zones. So this is the last zone, Southwest. They've been to North Central, across the country. So the essence is people have submitted what they think should be in the Constitution and so on and so forth. So the essence is for us to ratify it and then we take it to National Convention for adoption. What is good for a political party is to serve the aspiration of the people. So what our president is doing is to serve the aspiration of Nigerians.
Our job, as mandated by the party National Executive Committee, National Executive Council, chaired by the leader of the party, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, on the day we were constituted, was to ensure that we collect, coordinate, collate opinions of all participants, stakeholders, as to areas and openings or lacunas in the party constitution where they feel that their interests are not properly accommodated.
Ideas of democracy, good governance, progressivism germinated in Ondo State. And Ondo State has given to the world and to our country icons of democratic struggle, good development, education. We are known for what it is. Don't forget late Pa Ajashin, who was here. And even as of today, fashion leads the Afenifere movement. That's what we are known for. The late Akeredolu championed Amotekun and effective regional governance. That's what we are known for. And Governor Lucky is following on those footsteps to see that anytime, any day, anything that has to do with democracy, anything that has to do with progressive governance, anything that has to do with the welfare of the citizenry, Ondo State is in the forefront.
The special advisor to Governor Aiyedatiwa on legislative and party affairs, Kolawole Babatunde, said the passion of the governor to make positive impacts politically while promoting good governance was evident as the party concludes the Constitution Amendment Summit.
It's a party that is guided by rules and regulations, and these rules have to be reviewed from time to time. And the implication will now be that when decisions are taken, they are popular decisions that will be acceptable by all. You don't prefer or put a law in place that doesn't suit the people, or where the people doesn't have interest or have not contributed, where they are not part of that very situation. And that is what the party is trying to do.
The attendees vowed to sustain efforts aimed at expanding and strengthening the party towards victory at next year's general election. Wahab Bankole, Osrc News.
In another development, the Court of Appeal sitting in Akure has granted a stay of proceedings in the lawsuit seeking judicial interpretation on the eligibility of Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa of Ondo State to contest in the next governorship election in the state come 2028. The decision of the Appellate Court also put on hold the pending judgment of the Federal High Court sitting in Akure on a suit filed by Dr. Akindele Egbuwalo, chieftain of the All Progressives Congress APC, seeking the interpretation of Section 137, subsection 3 of the Constitution on eligibility of Governor Aiyedatiwa to contest in governorship election again. The Federal High Court, presided over by Justice Toyin Adegoke, had fixed Wednesday, January 28, 2026, to deliver her judgment on the suit. The Appellate Court, led by Justice Peter Afen, said it will be in the interest of justice to allow the trial judge to respond to weighty allegations against him. The defendants, through their counsels led by Solomon Awomolo, filed a petition against the conduct of the trial court, asking the Court of Appeal to prevent Justice Adegoke from delivering the judgment pending the determination of the interlocutory appeals before it. Awomolo said after the judgment that the implication of the decision was that the trial court must suspend judgment and all further proceedings until further notice.
The court of above is not faced with fait accompli. In other words, it's not made, the appeal is not rendered academic or useless or ineffective by reason of judgment which will have disposed of the whole thing.
Ondo State is set to mark a major milestone as it approaches 50 years of creation on February 3. As activities build up towards the Golden Jubilee celebration, residents of Akure, the state capital, have taken time to reflect on 5 decades of growth, development, and shared progress, describing it a moment of pride and renewed hope. Our reporter Joy Pius went to the streets of Akure to hear directly from the people.
As Ondo State counts down to its 50th anniversary, the atmosphere in Akure reflects excitement, pride, and a sense of fulfillment. From major roads to educational and social developments, residents say the state has witnessed notable progress over the years. A vox pop conducted across major streets of Akure revealed that many citizens are optimistic about the future, while appreciating the contributions of past and present administrations.
Are you aware Ondo State to be 50 in few days' time?
Yes, ma'am. So, okay, because Ondo State was created on February 3rd, that was 1976. At least there are good roads, hospitals, like social amenities, yes, like good water. Our education as well is far better than some other states. Yeah, I'm very proud of Ondo State. Yes, born and brought up here in Ondo State. A place to stay, cool environment, nothing disturbing.
In fact, it's a thing of joy. Seeing Ondo State clocks 50
ex-birthday. It's a thing of joy, and I believe that Ondo State will continue to move forward and forward.
Ó jẹ́ nǹkan ìdùnnú àti nǹkan ìwúrí fún àwa tó bá láyé torí láti 1970s yẹn ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ti kọjá lọ àwa kan dẹ̀ sì remain àwa tó bá láyé náà la lè máa celebrate ó jẹ́ nǹkan ìdùnnú fún àwa tó bá láyé.
The past governor, start from the ministry regimes, all of them that contribute their own quotas to make Ondo State develop.
What I have observed is that there has been a lot of development. There is a lot of, in fact, where we are standing now, you can see one of them. That place was a roundabout, but now the roundabout has been removed, and people have adapted to the new road structure. So I think there has been a lot of development, and development is not a destination; it's a journey. The journey so far has been quite remarkable.
While expressing satisfaction with the state's progress, residents also describe the anniversary an opportunity for renewed commitment to development, unity and inclusive governance across all sectors.
Many other places you have Okitipupa or Owo, Idonre. So His Excellency should pay attention to feedback. And one area that I feel that His Excellency should pay more attention to is the area of security. Because when people are not secure, there is no likelihood of sustained development.
In rural areas now, most rural areas, they are facing a lot of problems in terms of roads, availability of water. In terms of water supply. The government has paid out one of their responsibility.
Àmọ̀ràn mi ni pé ká ní fọwọ́sowọ́pọ̀ and mostly àwọn leader wa kọ́ ní fọwọ́sowọ́pọ̀ kọ́ máa fi ṣe lẹ́yàmẹ̀yà kọ́jọ́ kọ̀ báyìí kọ́ pé kọ́jọ́ ṣe state yìí kọ́ gbé lárugẹ.
With Ondo State approaching its golden jubilee on February 3, the voices on the streets of Akure reflect gratitude for the past and hope for the future. Residents remain hopeful that the next chapter will usher in greater growth and prosperity for the Sunshine State. Joy Pius, OSRC News.
In part 2, after the break, NDLEA launches alternative development pilot project to check drug abuse. Join us again.
Ìpínlẹ̀ Ondo ibẹ̀ ní ilé mi o. Ẹ jẹ́ ká gbé lárugẹ. Bẹ́ẹ̀ni ilẹ̀ ibi agbébíni tàbí tá a fi ṣe bí ìjòkó jẹ́bi tó yẹ ká máa gbé lárugẹ. Nítorí ẹ̀ la ṣe wá ń pè yín. Kí ẹja jọ celebrate ká jubilate ká dẹ̀ congratulate ara wa. Títí ayẹyẹ 50 ọdún ìpínlẹ̀ Ondo léyìí tó fẹ́ wáyé yìí. Èyí iléeṣẹ́ ńláńlá àti iléeṣẹ́ kéréje. Oníṣòwò oníṣẹ́ ọwọ́ ilé ìwé ilé ìjọsìn. Gbogbo union clubs associations ẹ̀yin ọba ẹ̀yin ìjòyè. Àti gbogbo ọmọ ìpínlẹ̀ Ondo àtẹ̀yìn tẹ́ fi bẹ̀ ṣe bí ìjòkó. Ó yá ẹja jọ kíra wa. Ká kí gómìnà, ká kí igbákejì, ká kí sínétọ̀, ká kí ẹ̀mẹ́sà rẹ̀ ẹ̀mẹ́sẹ̀. Àti gbogbo àwọn tó di ipò pàtàkì mú. Ká pè wọ́n ká kí wọn. OSRC television Orange 94.5 FM àti 96.5 FM alálàyé. Owó díẹ̀ la ó gbà lọ́wọ́ yín o. Torí àjọ ń ṣe ayẹyẹ náà ni. Ìgbìmọ̀ iléeṣẹ́ OSRC Media Group ló ń pè wá. Àmàkù àṣeyà 50 ọdún o típínlẹ̀ Ondo ti bẹ̀rẹ̀. Síbi tí mo wà tí mo jẹ́ gbàgbé o. Ìpínlẹ̀ Ondo sì wá ní o.
Glad to know you're still there. You can watch us live on our digital channel, Morplex 720, on our website, www.osrc.ng, or follow us on Facebook at OSRC TV. And you can subscribe to our channel, OSRC TV Ondo, on YouTube. Now to the rest of the news. Stakeholders in Ondo State have moved to address the growing challenge of drug abuse and illicit cultivation through a development-driven approach, as National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, rolled out its alternative development pilot project in Akure. Adeomi Tawa reports that the town hall meeting brought together the state governor, leadership of NDLEA, religious leaders, traditional rulers, and members of the judiciary to chart a sustainable path forward.
Ondo State was flagged by the NDLEA as one of the hotspots for cannabis cultivation in Nigeria, despite the practice being illegal. With many youths seeing the trade as a quick source of income, the agency is now intensifying efforts to engage and redirect them toward lawful means of livelihood. To this end, NDLEA launched an alternative development pilot project designed to replace illicit drug farming with profitable food and cash crop production while reducing drug-related insecurity. Speaking at the event, NDLEA Chairman and Chief Executive Officer Brigadier General Buba Marwa said the program represented a shift from confrontation to cooperation between law enforcement and farming communities involved in illicit crop cultivations. He assured residents that the initiative was not a trap to arrest farmers, but a genuine effort to help them transition to lawful agriculture.
Finding a lasting solution to any societal crisis requires an inclusive approach. It requires everyone to be at the dialogue table. The perpetrators, the victims, the mediators, the regulators, and of course the law enforcement agents. Establish with your cooperation structures for sustainable livelihoods, ensuring a smooth transition from illicit cropping to food security in tandem with the renewed hope agenda of Mr. President.
Pledging his administration support to the NDLEA's initiative, Ondo State Governor Lucky Ayedatiwa promised the agency of land, seedlings, and other agricultural inputs, while describing youth as key drivers of development in any society. The governor urged young people to reject drug abuse and embrace legitimate opportunities offered through the program.
I also thank the leadership of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency for selecting Ondo State as the pilot state for this important project. This engagement could not have come at a better time, as drug abuse remains a serious challenge to public health, as drug abuse is also a challenge to economic productivity, social stability, and insecurity in our country. This Renew Hope Alternative Development Advocacy Mission Project resonates perfectly with the development policy thrust of our administration as it relates to empowering our youth and dissuading them from engaging in illicit activities which might jeopardize their future.
Local and international stakeholders, as well as traditional rulers, expressed support for the project, which aligned with global best practices on crop substitution and sustainable livelihoods.
We have heard about various options that are available for our youth. We urge them to key into this program. There is no alternative to it, because they know the consequences of cannabis cultivation and all other drugs.
This recognition further reinforces our collective resolve to tackle drug challenges, not only through enforcement, but through sustainable socio-economic solutions.
NDLEA is striking at the root causes of involvement in illicit drug economies, rather than only treating the symptoms. The Ondo State Judiciary aligns fully with initiatives that promotes prevention, rehabilitation, social integration, and restorative justice, especially for vulnerable persons and youth who are often the first victims of drug abuse.
Highlights of the visit was the flag off of Alternative Development Initiative at Iluabu in Akure North local government area of Ondo State with the planting of cash crops. With strong backing from governments, traditional institutions, and international partners, the Alternative Development Pilot Project is expected to offer a sustainable pathway away from illicit drug cultivation. Adewumi Taiwo, OSRC News.
The unidentified body sighted this morning along the Arakala area of Akure, the state capital, has been evacuated. Speaking with OSRC earlier, the State Police Public Relations Officer Jimo Kazim confirmed that the Akure South local government, through its environmental unit, carried out the evacuation. According to him, the command is still investigating the cause of death and working to establish the identity of this deceased. Kazim also denied allegations of harassment by officers and assured the public of the command's commitment to upholding professional ethics in the discharge of their duties.
We got the reports around 0900 hours this morning, and upon receipt of the report, our operatives moved to the scene and almost immediately to assess the situation of London. Okay, when our people got there, so it was discovered that the body that was laying on the ground there, and the identity was not known as of that time. However, the features of the Akure South environmental health was reached, and they came to pick up the body, and the investigation is currently ongoing. So we would have liked the media once there is update on it. The Ondo State Police Command, under the leadership of CP Adekwale Lawal, PSC, Dademena, PSC, has always been the command that acts personally without any misconduct. So we carry out our duties as it is expected. So regarding this case, nothing of such happened. No harassment was made on anybody, and no arrest. But I can tell you that investigation has commenced, and we will update you once there is an update.
That was the State Police Public Relations Officer Jimo Kazim speaking there. We'll go on another break. When we return, we'll serve you more stories. Don't go away.
Ìpínlẹ̀ Ondo ibẹ̀ ní ilé mi o. Ẹ jẹ́ ká gbé lárugẹ. Bẹ́ẹ̀ni, ilẹ̀ ibi agbébíni tàbí tá a fi ṣe bí ìjòkó jẹ́bi tó yẹ ká máa gbé lárugẹ. Nítorí ẹ̀ la ṣe wá ń pè yín. Kí ẹja jọ celebrate ká jubilate ká dẹ̀ congratulate ara wa. Títí ayẹyẹ 50 ọdún ìpínlẹ̀ Ondo léyìí tó fẹ́ wáyé yìí. Èyí iléeṣẹ́ ńláńlá àti iléeṣẹ́ kéréje. Oníṣòwò, oníṣẹ́ ọwọ́, ilé ìwé, ilé ìjọsìn. Gbogbo union clubs associations ẹ̀yin ọba ẹ̀yin ìjòyè. Àti gbogbo ọmọ ìpínlẹ̀ Ondo àtẹ̀yìntẹ̀ fi bẹ̀ ṣe bí ìjòkó. Ó yá ẹjẹ́ àjọ kíra wa. Ká kí gómìnà, ká kí igbákejì, ká kí sínétọ̀, ká kí ẹ̀mẹ́sà rẹ̀ ẹ̀mẹ́sẹ̀. Àti gbogbo àwọn tó di ipò pàtàkì mú. Ká pè wọ́n, ká kí wọn. OSRC television Orange 94.5 FM àti 96.5 FM alálàyé. Owó díẹ̀ la ó gbà lọ́wọ́ yín o. Torí àjọ ń ṣe ayẹyẹ náà ni. Ìgbìmọ̀ iléeṣẹ́ OSRC Media Group ló ń pè wá. Àmàkù àṣeyà 50 ọdún o tìpínlẹ̀ Ondo ti bẹ̀rẹ̀.
Kò síbi tí mo wà tí mo jẹ́ gbàgbé o. Ìpínlẹ̀ Ondo tiwa ni o.
You're welcome back. Let's now turn our attention to Anambra State, where the Onitsha Bridge has been blocked as residents protested the ongoing closure of Onitsha Main Market following a directive by Governor Chukwuma Soludo. Protesters barricaded entrances to the bridge, blocking the route linking Anambra and Delta State. The protest comes after Soludo ordered a one-week closure of the Onitsha Main Market on Monday. Traders at the market had taken to the streets carrying placards and chanting solidarity songs, including expressions of support for the detained leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu. In other stories, the redeeming arm of administrative activity has returned to the Federal Capital Territory Administration, FCTA, and its affiliated agencies as workers officially resumed their duties more than a week after downing tools. Return to work followed Tuesday's landmark ruling by the National Industrial Court, which effectively broke the week-long gridlock that had paralyzed the nation's capital. The court, presided over by Justice Sobilim, mandated the industrial action initiated by the Joint Unions Action Committee be suspended immediately. The ruling was designed to transition the dispute from the streets back to the negotiating table, allowing essential public services to resume while dialogue continues. In the wake of the judicial pronouncement, FCT Minister Nyesom Wike struck a firm tone, reminding the workforce that while democratic protests are recognized, the sanctity of court orders is non-negotiable. A former head of service in Ondo State, Alaba Ishijola, has passed away. A family member who confirmed the news said Ishijola died on Tuesday night. Ishijola, a native of Owo in our local government area, served for several years and earned praise for his public service contributions and administrative reforms. He was aged 73. We pray his soul finds rest. Moving on to the foreign scene, the wife of South Korea's ousted former president has been sentenced to 20 months in jail for accepting bribes from the controversial Unification Church. However, the court cleared 52-year-old Kim Kyung-hee on charges of stock price manipulation and receiving free opinion polls from a political broker before the 2022 presidential election, which her husband Yoon Suk-yeol won. Yoon has already been sentenced to 5 years in jail for abusing power and obstructing justice in relation to his failed martial law bid in 2024. The former First Lady had denied all charges, saying they were deeply unjust, although she did admit to receiving Chanel bags, which she said she later returned without using. This marks the first time in South Korea's history that a former presidential couple are convicted at the same time. To round up the news tonight, here again are the major stories. We told you that Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa has received commendation from attendees at the Southwest APC Constitution Review Summit in Akure, the Ondo State capital, for his numerous impacts in making the state a better place. We also told you that protesting traders have blocked the popular River Niger Bridge in Onitsha over the temporary closure of the main market by Anambra State Governor Charles Soludo. The National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, has launched an alternative development pilot project in Akure. And from the foreign scene, a South Korean court has sentenced former First Lady Kim Kyung-hee to jail after finding her guilty of corruption. And that's the news at 7 tonight. Thank you very much for being a part of it. Good evening.